Let me push record because we'll go through this whole thing and like nothing will be recorded.
All right. All right. That sounds awesome. So we're recording. Welcome everyone who's listened to our voices. A bit of a fun behind the scenes conversation before we get started on our maiden voyage of what's in our hearts and the vision that we want to share today. And that's what we're diving into, Rhonda, is the vision. So I'm gonna kind of give you a little softball toss and lay it up as we get into this. Um,
Are we
you
going to use a
know,
lot of sports analogies in this?
possibly.
Because we're
you
both
can
sports moms.
you can count on it. You can count on it.
Okay.
Um, all right, so let's just rip the band-aid here and just dig right into the heart of why we're here, what the vision is, what everyone can expect as a subscriber to this sort of underground backdoor podcast conversations about um, cultivating and leading a community and what it means for the impact that's really truly on our hearts.
Well, you know what? You summarized that so well. Like, I'm really excited to hear what you have to say.
All right, so we're gonna play catch. I got it. I got you. I got you.
I was like, as you were starting to say all of that, I'm like, this is going to be really good. I wonder what she's going to say.
Well, one thing's for sure, it's gonna be fun, right? I think that's the biggest thing that we've realized, and I'll speak for both of us here at various stages in life. You know, when you go through the resourcefulness and the rigor of what it takes to just simply endure, right? You start to really focus on what's important, and it comes down to people. People are important. The people that we love and that we have surrounded ourselves with in our relationships and our families and our businesses and our peers, you know, our partners. You know, I'm grateful for that. And I'm also feeling like an emergence of not so much a voice in the wilderness anymore, that it's about people and business too, right? Beyond your teams and beyond what it means to be the CEO of your company, but it's the people that you serve, right? When you focus on truly serving them, like beyond the lifetime value of a customer, right? Well, and we'll get into all of that because profit, you can't take profitability out of business, but I think you go beyond profitability when you put impact in it, right? And so for
Right.
me, that is the heart and soul and the core of the vision of what we're laying a pathway and a foundation to is get back to the human element of business, right? The soul of truly serving and creating a product or service in a community that lifts someone else up beyond what they ever expected from the initial product or service that attracted you or attracted them to you in the first place.
Yeah, I think it's so a lot of times I talk about being very intentional with your time and how you spend your time, how to leverage your time, all of that. And I think that spending time with the people who light you up, like when I get off a call, I want to be high in all of the good ways, right? Whether it is a coaching call, is my membership, whether it's with you, it is like, I want to be so intentional with my time and be so excited about showing up. Like, I can't wait. And then when I get off of those calls with the people that either I work with, I love, all of the things, right? Is like, I want to carry that into, oh, Daniel, it was amazing to talk to such and such, or you're not going to believe what such and such does. It's a different perspective when you go into being intentional with your time and lifting people up and choosing the people that you want to serve, choosing the people that you
Mm.
want to include in that ecosystem, like each and every week that is your life, because there is a lot of things that are vying for your attention each and every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've got 8 kids between the two of us.
Yes, yes, and I'm sure we could, you know, have a whole episode on just the pets, right? I know I could probably go half an hour on the goldfish and the beta fish I tried to keep alive over the years and finally just leaned into dogs and cats.
Okay, so that takes us down a rabbit hole where we went to get a goldfish and we came home with Buddy, who was a dog. So that is like a whole nother thing that, yeah,
I think
we've
that's
got,
a win. I think
yeah.
that's a win because
I don't know who it's a win for, if it's a win for us or if it's a win for Buddy, because he does these Jedi mind tricks on us. He has us trained very, very well.
yeah,
So,
I would say, okay, it's a win for Buddy. All
yeah.
right. So, for those of you who are pacing with us and you're listening and you're leaning in, I first want to say congratulations for following your heart and joining us here, because it means that there's a spark in your soul, right? That there's more. There's more that you want to contribute, and I guess I just want to really be very, very transparent. The business model that is really, really important to me and to Rhonda, it's not the one of keeping people beyond an arm's length. It is literally the one where you grab them and you hold them close and you love them tight, right?
Okay.
It's you lean in and find your people.
So the first time that Cassie and I met one another, so she's a hugger, she's a hugger, she's a lover. And not that I'm not a hugger. So when she says that, literally, like she held on to me like we were sisters. And I'm thinking to myself, who's not a hugger, thinking, oh my goodness, what have I walked into? So when she says being transparent, this is what she literally does. So if you ever see her out and about, this is what is going to happen to you.
100%, 100%. I meet someone and I introduce myself and I, I say my name, pronounce my name for them, because it's a little confusing. My mom was creative. And then I immediately move in for a hug with a little bit of warning. So they have enough warning, like to totally like back away. But not really, because I'm just going to love on them anyway, because I feel like more people in this world need love.
Yeah.
And that's and I think that's the same approach in business, right?
Yeah.
So let's dive into the vision of what we're creating here, Rhonda. We're gonna in these next few episodes, we're gonna touch on our journey, especially Rhonda's. Rhonda has an amazing, incredible journey that I really feel sometimes you keep pretty close to the vest, right? And I think this series is going to be really, really interesting, where both of us are just, gloves off, raw, real, open, transparent, honest. Because I just think the world needs more of that, right? There's enough of us trying to live the social media highlight reels, and
Yeah.
enough's enough. So now, Rhonda,
Goodness gracious. What's coming
I
next?
told you, gloves are off, right? We're, way, way, way beyond the surface here. Um, when we say vision of this project, all right, of this, this movement, this rallying around the human element, loving, attracting, loving, building, creating, cultivating your tribe of people, not only to do business with, but to do life with, right? What does that vision mean to you?
Golly, I mean, when you say all of those things, for me, it just is a fulfillment of people that it's not like, it's like going into a room. I know this is going to sound so, and this is not me. This is not like feeling love in a room,
Mhm.
feeling love in a room. Everyone in there is in alignment and they are so excited about lifting one another up. So you're talking about like being I guess, transparent, like I almost want like that Instagram picture of like what it looks like on Instagram and like what it looks like behind the scenes, right?
Right.
And I think that when you said something recently in a community that we're serving together, that no one is going to be left behind. Everybody has individual goals, right? It struck a nerve in me where you said, yes, everyone has a goal, but together we're going up the mountain and we are not leaving anyone behind. When you are working online, you are isolated. And I never really understood like that bestie, like, let's get a bestie. I'm like, well, I need a bestie. Where's a bestie? And, we try to reach out. Hey, do you want a partner? Do you want to be accountability buddies? And for whatever reason, for me, that was really, really hard. Talking about keeping things close to my vest, right?
Yeah.
It was really hard for me to do that. I'm sure like you were like, all right, everybody in the room, you're my friend. Let's go. That was probably you, right? But I have now been a part of Cassie's Hugs and Love, and I want to be in a room where people support one another. and that everybody will get up the mountain together. I think that all of the noise that's out there right now kind of complicates things. I want to get back to a simpler way of business. I mean, old school, advanced maternal age, like old school is like a really simple way. And what that means is that people do business with people.
Amen.
And when we can create a culture and a community of support, all of the individual goals, man, the party on the other side of that, like I'm getting the roundabouts, just like thinking about that. Like
Right.
that's what lights me up. And that's how I want to show up and serve. So I think, does that answer the question of vision?
100%. 100%. It answers the question to vision, and it also allows me to kind of segue into alignment. And I, what's interesting is we just pushed record on this, and so everyone who's going through this and subscribing, and no matter where you're, hitting this at in the journey, whether you're pacing episode per episode or you're kind of binging and catching up, um, I'm I'm a very spontaneous type of person. So, and I also know that Rhonda loves systems and formulas. And so it's on my heart, Rhonda, where I'm kind of like, here we are sharing the vision. And I would really love at this point, right, to kind of pause and do some introspective work with the listeners to just check in on their vision, right? Does it align for where you want it to be, right? I mean, chances are if you joined this and you clicked in, right, you're heading towards that new territory, that fork in the road, whether you've decided to make a turn or not. But I really want you to pause and look at this and dare to dream and speak out loud, or write, share with someone that you love, or even in the community, what is your vision and what's the gap to getting there?
Yeah, that's good. Cassie's really good at pointing out those gaps and standing out in the middle of those gaps. Yeah, yeah, because every voice needs to be heard. Because here's the thing that I think that's really important with that and speaking, like your vision, is that your skills, your talent, your unique voice is important. And too many times we think that we have to do it a very specific way. And in doing something a very specific way stifles that creativity, it stifles that unique voice, and it paralyzes you so that you don't take action moving forward on your dream, because you are never, and this is like A type, like all in, like system step-by-step girl, you're never going to live up to that like pinnacle that you have put up on the hill. You're never going to live up to that. I think for me, like personal growth has happened the most where I invested in community. That was an investment in myself and listening, and literally taking one thing and go take action. Like implementation, like the speed to implementation, that's where it's out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and I use that taking imperfect action phrase a lot, but that's literally you got to step out of the shadows. You really do, because your voice is important.
Yeah. And I think that is just a beautiful kind of bookend for our first episode, right? Is the
Bookend?
challenge. Yeah. Um, it otherwise we're just gonna, record 3 hours nonstop, and we are gonna try to segment these so you guys can get through little bits at a time.
So what's the cliffhanger then, Cassie Brown?
The cliffhanger is the open loop is, so we've laid the vision, right? We've laid the vision and created the intention for community, right?
Yeah.
I think we've both only scratched the surface of how pivotal it is in the growth of you as an individual, you as a business, and just how powerful of an asset it is in gathering and serving your clients and customers, right? I am a marketing nerd. And so I will give you guys, I will reinforce everything that we've said with some stats. And I hope you see it as a huge opportunity. But part of me, like my big heart breaks that more companies don't embrace this. but community is like one of the baseline essential human needs. And
Mhm.
only 25% of businesses will actually intentionally incorporate a relationship marketing strategy in their business.
Oof.
Yeah. And you can probably feel it as a consumer, right? In the general like day-to-day life, you feel unimportant. You feel unseen. You feel unappreciated, right?
Mhm.
But as entrepreneurs, we have an opportunity not only to use that gap as our advantage, but to be that rally point for people that we want to serve at a so much deeper level that other businesses are not willing to go. So that's the vision of what we're creating right here.
Mhm.
Boom.
Well, okay, so can I just like let me just put a little another cherry right in like the Sunday that you just built, because like you are fired, Cassie Brown. You were fire. Let me just say that you can still show up and serve. And I like how you said gather and serve, how you can gather and serve and still leverage your time. To collectively together, what we're saying is that your people, it doesn't matter if it is a digital product, if it's one-on-one coaching, if it is your service-based business owner, if you're a membership owner, what we're saying here is that you can show up and serve in the way that you want to and still leverage your time. Your people want to be seen and heard, and you can create an environment to do that. The process girl is here. The strategy girl is here.
Yes. And
Boo.
rest assured, we have like 20 episodes already mapped out here. So we're going to be sharing with you all of the strategies, all of the processes. But we're also going to share just loads and loads of deep work that we've done and are doing, and the way that we're progressing and growing our own communities, right? Because the thing about it is there's a bigger ripple effect that we all have the opportunity to contribute to. And I believe anything that we do in life is worth going that extra mile if it means someone else can pick up the torch and run with it. So this first episode is essentially our love letter to you. Congratulations, community leader, movement maker, change maker, visionary, whatever identity you embrace. I'm so glad and grateful that you're here and that you're going to take this journey with us. So that is the opening episode. And the challenge is to write and share your vision. And I just want to make sure that you dare to dream big enough, that it's a vision that is a little bit intimidating, that does make you kind of flip your stomach inside out and say, holy heck, did that thought just hit that paper? Or did those words just leave my mouth? And I'm here to tell you, yes. And I'm so grateful.
And I'm so excited to be with you, Cassie Brown. This is going to be amazing.
All right. So open loop. The next couple of episodes, Rhonda and I are going to be sharing deeper in our personal journeys and how we came together, because that's probably one of the top questions is like, how does this even happen? And we're excited to get into that.
Yeah, I asked that too. So it's good.
All right, you guys, thanks for listening. We love you, and we'll catch you next episode.
Take care.